Today, I wanted to talk about Starfield, where it was at launch and what's happened since. This game was the definition of a mixed launch. Some loved it and some hated it. Kinda like the effect I have on people. Anyway, Bethesda's still working on it, and they've released a bunch of updates since launch. So let's go over what's changed. Also, for anyone wondering, yes, this game will 100% come to PlayStation 5. And honestly, I wouldn't rule out a Switch 2 version either. Let's quickly recap what happened with Starfield. At launch, there was massive hype because people were hoping for Skyrim in space. But that's not what they got. Many worlds felt huge but hollow. Planets were often empty by design. Bethesda said it was to create a sense of scale, but for players, it just felt like there was nothing to do. The story was slow and vague. Most characters lacked urgency. Dialogue was dry. A lot of people just skipped it. Combat was fine, but nothing special, and exploration didn't always feel rewarding. On top of that, the UI made inventory management a chore, and the lack of basic features, like ground vehicles, pushed a lot of players away early. Even simple actions like traveling or comparing items took too many clicks. And of course, plenty of players also ran into technical issues. Overall, it just wasn't what people expected. And when you combine that with a long list of frustrations and a clunky UI, it became a perfect storm of misery. When you do start playing the game, here's a quick pro tip. You'll likely enjoy Starfield more if you treat it like a more linear RPG, with exploration around your quests, not as an open-ended sandbox like Skyrim. That mindset shift helped me a lot. Since then, Bethesda's been patching steadily, and while it's not a full reinvention, at least not yet, it's definitely a better experience than it was at launch. They say hope is just delayed disappointment, and yet here I am, still hopeful. I mean, they did say they're still working on it. Anyway, let's go over what's actually changed. Let's start with performance. Xbox Series X now lets you unlock the frame rate entirely if you've got a VRR display, or pick from 30, 40, or 60 FPS if you don't. On PC, they added a new very low graphics preset that helps older rigs run smoother and fix that weird slowdown bug that kicked in after long sessions with the scanner. They also added proper ultra-wide support for 32:9 and 3010 resolutions, so if you're on a fancy monitor, it finally looks right. On top of that, they knocked out a long list of stability issues. Crashes when entering Unity, freezes during takeoff or base building, and yeah, they finally added DLS. Don't ask me why that wasn't there at launch, but at least it's in now. The UI got some love too, though honestly, I still think it needs more. A lot more. I really hate the UI. You need way too many clicks, and I constantly get lost. Anyway, I'm getting carried away. Let's continue. The good news is, inventory and container screens now have proper tab sorting, so you're not endlessly scrolling anymore. You can also disable the cinematic camera during dialogue, which helps a lot. It used to snap in randomly and kill immersion. One of the biggest fixes was quest selection. It now auto-assigns your chosen quest as active, so you don't have to dig through menus constantly. And the scanner? It stays on now when you open doors or loot containers, which just makes exploring feel smoother. Small changes, but they make a big difference. They also fixed a ton of bugs. Broken quests, XP glitches, disappearing terrain, fast travel issues, cargo links not working, you name it. Even boost controls, vehicle markers, and font scaling all got cleaned up. It's still Bethesda, but it's a much more stable game now. That wasn't all though. Bethesda finally tackled some of the biggest player complaints. First, vehicles. At launch, people couldn't believe there were no drivable ground vehicles. It made the game feel boring for a lot of players, since you spent way too much time just walking, and it took forever to get anywhere. I don't disagree with that. Didn't bother me as much, but yeah, I get it. That's fixed now. They added the REV8 rover, and it works exactly how you'd want. It auto-spawns when you land, handles like a dream, and you can even customize the look. It's made planetary exploration way less tedious. Second, the surface map, or rather the lack of one. Starfield's launch version didn't really have surface maps, just vague blobs. Now you get a proper top-down view with points of interest and actual terrain, so you can plan where you want to go. Revolutionary, I know. And third, difficulty options. They added full sliders, so you can tweak how much damage enemies do, how quickly you heal, how much your ship takes, whether ammo has weight, how much vendors carry, hunger and thirst toggles, all of it. If you want a relaxed exploration run or a brutal survival build, the tools are finally there. This was a big deal because at launch, the game felt too easy to some and too annoying to others. Now you can tune it exactly how you want. And then there's mods. In May, Bethesda finally released the full creation kit, the same tools they use internally. Mods can now be installed directly through the in-game creations menu. It supports bundles, custom icons, and uploads up to 2 gigabytes. And the content's already wild. Performance tweaks, new gear, visual overhauls, full quest lines, even colony systems with mechs. On PC and Xbox, modding finally feels like a proper part of the game. Now for the expansion. Shattered Space dropped in late 2024 and focused on House Va'ruun, one of the more mysterious factions. It takes place on a handcrafted planet called Va'ruun Kai. No procedural filler here. You've got a real hub city, over 50 unique locations, new weapons, and some creepy glowing enemies with lightning powers. The main feedback I've seen is that it felt like more of the same. Too expensive and too focused on a story that didn't grab people. I haven't played it myself, so I'll leave that up to you to decide. That's everything. If you were disappointed at launch, you're not alone, but the game's gotten a lot better since then. I'm still hoping they go further, especially with the UI, but I expect more updates this year, especially around the PlayStation launch. And for what it's worth, I had a lot of fun with it. Just had to shift my expectations a bit. That's it. If you like videos that focus on the information you need and skip the filler, then consider liking and subscribing. Regardless, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.